welcome to Intermediate Level English Language Arts.
Hi guys, and welcome to English Language Arts Grade 6. Our topic for today would be your second quarter project. Alright, so let's jump right into the topic, guys, right? So what you're going to be doing for your second quarter project, guys, you guys are going to be writing a research paper. Okay, now, what is a research paper first? A research paper is a written work that is about the researched topic. Usually the topics are very specific and full of details to discuss about it. Okay, now there are very lengthy research papers, right? Some of them, sometimes they would reach more than like 2-3 pages long. Depends, right? But depending on the length, there are just usually three very common parts. Three main parts. Sometimes are divided into different other parts, but the general parts are three. You have three. Okay, these three parts are your introduction, your body, and your conclusion. Okay, so what do you see in the introduction? We already discussed this before in your previous activity, wherein you guys did an explanation of your chosen topic. You chose a side, right? This time it's slightly different, but not too different. Okay, right? Because here, instead of you sticking to a side, this time, guys, you are actually just discussing one thing. So in your introduction, what you're going to be doing is this is the general background of the topic. It talks about the general idea of the topic. Okay, so you could ask the questions like, what is the topic about? What is the background of it? What is the general idea of the topic? What is the main question or idea you will be discussing? Stuff like that. Give a general idea of it. Okay, that's your introduction. So for example, you're talking about pandas, say, right? So the panda would be like, give a background about it. What are pandas? Pandas are mammals. Okay, they are bears. They are usually found in China. Stuff like that. Give details about it. That's your introduction. Right? Talk about your main idea, the general topic. Okay. And then the next part is the body. The body, guys, is it's a part of the research paper that talks about the topic itself. It answers the question posed in the introduction. Okay? Details about the topic itself is also presented here. So, example, what is your topic? Okay, what's its relevance? What's the answer to the question posed? What are the details about the topic? So, usually in the introduction too, you'd also be raising some questions. So, in the body, that's where you're going to be answering them. That's where you're going to be putting researches about it. So, for example, in my introduction, I placed like, are pandas still endangered in 2020? Okay, that's the main idea, the main thing that we're going to be talking about. We're talking about pandas. That's the general idea. But the main question that we're going to be answering will be, are they still endangered in 2020? So in the body, you'll be researching it, and you're going to be placing your research there, answering the question there. That's where you're going to put it, in the body. And then the conclusion. The conclusion is the part where you give your opinions, your thoughts, what you've learned about the research. Do not give any of these in other parts of the research paper. No. Do not put your opinions in any part of the paper. Not in the introduction, not in the body. No. Only in your conclusion. Okay? It could also be a brief summary of what you've researched about. Sorry. So the questions should go like, what are the opinions about what you've researched? What are your thoughts about the matter? What have you learned from the research? What is the summary of what you've researched? So, for example, in my initial example, right, are pandas still endangered in 2020? Then I do my research. In my body, I find out that no, they're not anymore, right? So I give details. Why are they not anymore endangered? What happened to them? Are they okay? Stuff like that. And in the conclusion, I'll give my thoughts about it. Like, for example, what to do so that we preserve them even more. Why are they important in the environment? Why should we preserve them? Stuff like that. That's what you'll be putting in your conclusion. Okay? So, what would you be doing? Oh yeah, by the way, before discussing what you guys are going to be doing, also in this research paper, guys, you're going to be including something very important too. Something that's preparation for you when you go high school already. This is the reference list. Okay. Now, when you hit high school, guys, things are going to be slightly different with the research papers that you created. I have been training you already from the very beginning of the school year to include your references. This time, guys, you really have to include your references. Okay. Now, in the research papers, it's very important to list your sources. This shows the credibility of your work. This shows just how true your work is. This shows proof that you actually made researches, right? There are many ways to cite your sources, many ways. One of them is to create a reference list at the very end of your research paper. How would it look like? Looks like this, guys. So for example, you're going to be getting your research from a book. So it would look like this. The structure is author's last name, comma, and then his initials, period, and then open and close parenthesis, and then the publication year it was published. Next, the title of the book, and then the publisher. So it would look like that, right? Diaz-Rialco. Those are two authors, by the way. Diaz, then dash, and then Rialco, then L and T. 2008. And then the title of the book is A Course for Teaching English Learners. And it was published where? It was published by what company? Pearson. Next, we also have, for example, a web page with an author. Some web pages have authors, right? So you could go scan them, look for them, look at the articles, read it if there are authors. So you could go like that: author's last name, comma, initials, and then open and close parenthesis, the publication date, then the title of the web page. What's the title of the web page? Some web pages do have their titles, and then the website. Okay. Oh wait, sorry. The title of the website also, and then the website itself. You have an example over there, right? Please include everything in the website. So everything that you see in the address bar, web address, you're going to copy the whole thing and paste it. Yes? The web page with no individual author. For example, it's a name of an organization. Like for example, my research would be made up of research from the United Nations Conservation. I really forgot. But for example, it's a conservation organization that's used for preserving pandas, right? So we can have it like that, right? So name of organization, publication date, then the title of the web page, and then the website itself. So we have example: U.S. Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics, 2008 March. Okay, and then Police and Detectives is the title of the web page, and then the actual web page itself. Yes. How about web page with no author or organization? What you can do is just title of the web page. All web pages have titles. Okay, look for the title of the web page, the date, and then the site itself. So here in this example, guys, there is no title. There is no date for when it was published. So you could just put that N.D. That's no date. Okay, and then the website itself. So this is how you would reference it. Okay, usually you have it at the very end of the research paper. Just type the references, followed by the different references that you use. Okay, so and sorry, one more: the article on a news website. Because yeah, sometimes you could also get information from news websites, like for example, CNN or ABS-CBN News or GMA News, right? Stuff like that, or Philippine Star. Okay, stuff like that. You could always get them from websites. What you do, same thing. Last name, author's last name, then the initial, then the year, then the month, and the day. Don't make sure you put that properly. And then the title of the article, and then the site name, the name of the website, followed by the complete web page or web address. I'm sorry. So example here, Don J. 2020, January 6. The title of the article is Recycling Collectors Bothered by Messy Bins. The site's name is CNN. He got this from the CNN website. And then the website there is exactly there. Okay, that's what you do. Okay. Also, you could also be doing this in an entire website. So sometimes, although it's not advisable, but sometimes there are times where you research a website and the website is dedicated for the topic itself. Okay. So for example, you find a website only meant for burgers or coffee or chocolate shake or whatever it is that you're going to be talking about, right? So you put the author's last name as well, and then the initial. Or if it's not the author, then probably the organization. It's fine too. Year and the month it was, and the day it was published. Then the title of the website, and then the site's web address itself. Okay? Right? So we have an example over there. So, what are you going to be doing? There we go. Now we're going to be discussing what you guys are going to be doing. First things first, guys, prepare. Prewrite first. So in your Prewrite, think of a general topic. Choose from the list, or maybe think of one of your own. These are just examples that I could give you. Example, you could talk about animals, about games, about food, about ideas like love or freedom or sadness or happiness. Current events like the recent floods or the typhoons or this pandemic, this COVID-19 could be as well. Or possible future events like, for example, the face-to-face learning which is being proposed, which would be happening next year maybe, right? Or the continuous online classes until the end of the school year, right? Stuff like that. It could be those general topics. After that, create an interesting question about the general topic you chose or thought of. So, example, are giant pandas still endangered? Or, why are teenagers not advised to enter romantic relationships? Or, do video games released in the year 2000s are better in telling stories than before 2000? It's up to you. You guys would think first of your general topic, first, very important, of your general topic, and then come up with an interesting question. Don't come up with questions like, for example, is my dog happy when I feed him this food? Okay? Make sure that the topic, the question is very interesting. Something that would really pique the interest of readers. Okay? Now, when you've done that, okay, what you guys would do first, and still in your Prewrite, by the way, is to research. Once you consider the question, research about it. Research about it and plan to write your introduction and body. So you could go like this. You can make a Prewrite like this, wherein in your introduction you give a background. Could be just words or phrases. It's fine. You could give more than one, and then the general idea of it. Yes, give it. So for example, you're talking about, are pandas endangered or giant pandas endangered? You could talk about what giant pandas are, where are they found, okay? What is their habitat? Why were they endangered in the first place? What were the reasons why they were endangered? You could put that too. That's part of the general idea as well. And then in the body, give details of the one that you researched, your researched answer. Details like, for example, who were the ones who said that giant pandas are not anymore endangered? What was the research answer? It's a no, they're not anymore. Why not? Why are they not anymore endangered? What happened? Did their populations increase? Did their population increase, or did it decrease? Are they more endangered now, or are they less endangered now? Stuff like that. Okay, that's for your Prewrite. And then your draft, turn your ideas or words and phrases into sentences. Write one paragraph for your introduction, one paragraph for your body, one paragraph for your conclusion. The paragraphs should have 5 or more sentences each. That's for your draft. Okay? So in your draft, you'd already start coming up with your conclusion. So write your introduction first, then the body, and then react to it. Give 5 or more sentences. Okay? Revise. Check the revised checklist. Did I give enough details for the background of the main topic? Do my readers understand the general idea of the topic? Did I have enough research to answer the main question? Did I give sufficient details to answer the main question? Because that's important. Having enough research is okay, but then having less details about it is not okay. Or having a lot of details is fine, but then having less research about it is also not fine. Okay? Did I give my opinions only in the conclusion? Very important. Whatever you write in the introduction and body, none of it is your opinion. None. Only opinion would be at the conclusion part. Okay? And then your edit, check for spelling errors, punctuation marks, and other small details. Okay? Indentions and the like. And then in your publish. In your publish, write the paragraphs you've written in your draft. In your publish. Okay? Follow the format given in the in the sample regarding the format to use. I will post a sample. Check it online in Schoology. I will post the sample online for you to see. Right? Insert 2 pictures about your topic. Very important. 2 pictures. Okay, the first picture must be below your title and before your first paragraph. So after your first title, by the way, your title, guys, could be your question or the main thing that you're talking about. So for example, for me, are giant pandas still endangered? Can be like that. Okay, so after that title and then before your first paragraph, you put there a picture. So for me, for example, in your sample, you'd see it's a picture of a panda. The next picture could be anywhere else. It could be either after the first paragraph or after the second or even after the last paragraph. And at the very end, put a reference list. Just like in the sample I gave in the folder. How many references would you need? You need 3. 3 references. Could be 3 websites or more. Can be more. But a minimum of 3. 3. Okay? The activity title, by the way, is research paper. Oh wait, no. No activity title. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Apologies for that. No activity title for this one. None. None. No activity title. You're gonna go straight to your title itself. Okay? No activity title for this. Okay? And then submit it in Schoology in the appropriate assignment. Okay? Now, if you still do not know how to insert pictures and stuff, you could just check in this PowerPoint to see how to do it. Okay? Or just wait for it in class because I'm going to be discussing how to do that in class as well. Okay? So with that, this ends our topic for your second quarter project.